You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hey there, welcome to episode 321 of the Rusted Robot Podcast for Sunday, June 17th, 2021, Betty White's 99th birthday edition.
X-Ray Delta 1, this is Mission Control. Roger, you're 1930.
Just what do you think you're doing, Dave?
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
All right, I'll take a shot at it. What the hell, it works on Star Trek.
There's a fleet of Star Destroyers coming out of hyperspace in Sector 4.
Ship, abandon ship. All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuit.
Come quietly or there will be trouble.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Rusted Robot Podcast. I'm your ever-present host, Sean, and with me today we have a special guest. Who is it, you might be asking? Well, I'll give you a little bit of a hint. That we could consider this episode 41 of the Sci-Fi Waffle Podcast. We could consider this maybe episode 20 or so of the Cosmic Pizza Podcast. But no, it's episode 321, Rusted Robot. Who do we have guest hosting this week? Introduce yourself, mister.
Hi, my name is Paul Wright. I am Sean's podcasting partner and have been around for 20 episodes of Cosmic Pizza, 41 episodes of Sci-Fi Waffle, and about 60 or 70 episodes of 10 Forward.
That's correct. And also, you are our occasional UK correspondent here on the Rusted Robot.
This is true, and would be more occasional if I wasn't doing the Cosmic Pizza.
Yes, that is true. You are the editor-in-chief of the Cosmic Pizza Podcast, so you're quite busy. And I know what that's like, because not only do I edit Rusted Robot every week, I also edit Soulforge Podcast. So we're a bunch of busy guys.
Of course. This world of podcasting, it's a busy thing to be doing.
It is. It's a lot of work. It's like a part-time job that we don't get paid for, but we do it for the love.
Exactly, which is why I'm on today, purely for the love.
That's right, exactly. It's Betty White's 99th birthday. It's also another lockdown edition. It's hard to get together during a lockdown when you're not allowed to visit other people's houses. So here we are over Skype. Well,
that's the funny thing, though, isn't it? I've heard a lot of people in podcasting say this. Oh, no, we can't go out anywhere. We can't do. You're podcasting, for goodness sake. You've been podcasting even when you weren't in lockdown because you use Skype. Podcasters should not be affected at all by lockdown because they talk over Skype anyway. And so I find it funny when people moan about it. We're just doing what we've been doing for the last 7-8 years.
Well, that's true. Except for Rusted Robot, normally I go over to Josh's house. We're not allowed to go to people's houses if we don't live with them. Well, there we go. Here we are. So we're
yeah, but surely. I mean, I just listened to one of your recent episodes with Robin. I mean, Robin is nowhere near you, and when he was near you, you never podcasted together. It was only now and again. So you actually could do it more than when he's further away.
Yes.
Than when he's in the same house.
It's funny how it works, right?
That's right. I mean, I've actually seen more of my sister in lockdown because we keep doing video calls than I would normally because she lives south of here and we only get together, every few months or so. So no, it's not a bad thing.
No, it definitely works out. I'll have to see if Josh even has Skype, so I can have him as the co-host once in a while, too, during lockdown. I think he does. I think we might have done it once, but I can't remember really. But anyway, like I said, it's Betty White's 99th birthday, so I was thinking we should do a complete career retrospective on the history of Betty White, right from the early days of television, and then I realized she's not really sci-fi, and I don't want to do that kind of research, so we're just going to mention it and then move right along. What do you think about that?
That's fair enough. I mean, the only thing I know her from is obviously the Golden Girls, so that's pretty much me limited.
Well, that's okay, and I know she was in, I think, Hot in Cleveland, and she was the crazy grandma in Lake Placid.
If I had a dick, this is where I'd tell you to suck it.
A movie from, 20 years ago. But anyway, happy birthday, Betty White. We'll transition right over to celebrity deaths, because that's usually where we start the podcast, and it's Josh's favorite part.
You could have waited another week, and you might have had another one. Betty White is 99.
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope she lasts a little bit longer, because that's always awesome when somebody gets over to 100, right? So,
of course.
Okay, so I came across 3 celebrity deaths this week. The first one is somebody named Jessica Campbell, who died at the age of 38. Any idea who that is?
No, I did see this because you put it up on your feed, and I thought that... Oh, no, it wasn't, sorry. It was in the ESO Network feed. And they... Yeah, I didn't know who she was, but 38, that's far too young.
Yes, it is. So she actually died December 29th, but the death wasn't reported until January 13th. She starred alongside Reese Witherspoon in the movie Election, and she was in the first and only season of Freaks and Geeks from, I believe, 1999-2000, and then she quit acting to go be a naturopath. And
what exactly?
What's that?
What?
A naturopath.
Oh, what's one of them?
I'm not sure. It's like a fake doctor, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it's more scientific than that, but I don't have that information. You're not supposed to ask me these questions. So anyway, she was 38 and no cause of death was specified. The next celebrity death that we got, 81-year-old Siegfried Fischbacher. Of course.
That's a great name, that.
We all know him.
Tell me he's a mad scientist.
He's Siegfried from Siegfried and Roy, the internationally known Vegas show act. You remember Siegfried and Roy?
I've heard of them. I'm aware of them. I've not seen them.
Okay. Well, his partner Roy died last May, and he was 75, and then Siegfried died just not too long ago, age of 81, from pancreatic cancer. That's the end of Siegfried and Roy. And our last celebrity death, you may be familiar with this actor, Peter Mark Richman, was 93 years old. He played Chrissy Snow's father on Three's Company, but our listeners may know him as Ralph Offenhouse from the Next Generation Season 1 finale, The Neutral Zone. He was one of the 20th century guys who was brought out of stasis, if you remember.
Oh, right. Yes. No.
Then what will happen to us? There's no trace of my money. My office is gone. What will I do? How will I live?
This is the 24th century. Material needs no longer exist.
Then what's the challenge?
The challenge, Mr. Offenhouse, is to improve yourself, to enrich yourself. Enjoy it.
You've given me a frame of reference there, so that's good. Yeah.
He was the guy who was looking for his lawyer and all his money.
Yes. Yeah. He was like some sort of cowboy dude, as if I wanted to stereotype him.
No, that was the other guy, the singing dude.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, there was the cowboy singing guy, there was the businessman, and then the housewife.
Yes, you're right. Yes, I know. It's been a while since I've seen that one.
Yeah, well, that came out in 1987, 88, so...
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen it since then, but...
Once or twice.
Once or twice.
But yes, I know what you mean now, yeah.
Yes. And another bit of sad news, since we're in celebrity death, this guy isn't dead yet, but he's got stage 4 cancer. They're not sure what kind of cancer he has. He's 44 years old. Dustin DeDiamond, who played Screech on Saved by the Bell. Is that a TV series that you might be familiar with over in the UK?
I've heard the title, and I don't really know much about it, but yes, I'm aware of it again, okay. Yeah.
It was a teen sitcom comedy kind of thing in the 90s. They just rebooted it for, I believe, the Peacock Network or something, I'm not sure. And he played Screech. He was the nerdy character.
Right, yeah, I've heard it spoken about on other various shows and podcasts and things, so I'm aware it's quite a big thing over there.
Yeah, it is. My brothers actually were more into it than ever I was, but that's a little bit of celebrity gossip, celebrity news, celebrity deaths of the week. But I think we should move on to some more fun and exciting things. What do you think?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay, well, before we forget, why don't we go ahead and play a promo for another podcast here on the ESO Network, I believe. But first, Let's Talk Nerdy is the scheduled promo this week.
I'm Brittany Frida. I'm Martha Bartlett. And this is But First, Let's Talk Nerdy. Clink. Oh, how was that? That's going to be our promo. Done. Cut it, Kevin. Send it. Bam.
But first, let's talk nerdy. It's two nerd girls talking about nerdy things over a couple of drinks. What could go wrong? Part of the ESO Network.
And wasn't that a wonderful promo, Paul?
Yes, I have listened to Let's Talk Nerdy, the two girls on it. Sadly, one of them's Martha, and the other is, name escapes me. They're out in Las Vegas, I believe, and they do a lot of drinking while they do their podcasting.
Yes, yes. As you could tell from the promo, they even reference that on that. So yeah, so you've listened to a few of their episodes.
I listened to one or two just to see what they were like, and I thought, yeah, that's a really interesting way of podcasting.
Maybe we should start drinking while we podcast.
You mean drinking more?
Yes, that's what I meant. Exactly. Yes. So everybody, go check out all the podcasts on the ESO network. I think I mentioned last week that our Cosmic Pizza podcast was recently added to the network.
This is correct, yes.
So that's 3 for me on the network now, including Rusted Robot and Soul Forge. I'm trying to take over, but I don't think Mike would be too happy with that.
Well, what are you, about 10% of the network?
Just about, I think, actually. Yeah, because there's like 25 or 30 shows on there, so yeah, the fact that I have 3 of them is 10%, at least. World domination starts now.
Yeah. You're making your way through the American podcast. I like it.
Yes. Everybody's got to have a goal in life, right? So.
Everybody's got to have a hobby. Yeah.
Exactly. So I've got a bunch of Marvel news and Star Trek news, but I thought before we got there, we would talk about some recent things that we've been watching on television, or DVD as the case may be. You just finished all 6 seasons of Lost as of today, is that right?
That's correct, yes. Me and my wife have been watching it from just before Christmas, I think. We managed to get the DVDs. We have the DVD rental store Snips just around the corner from us, and we rented them out over the lockdown period and over Christmas. We just finished off the season yesterday, in fact, last night. Stayed up until midnight watching all the extras and things. So it's the first time we've seen it. We've never seen it before. It came out in a time when me and my wife had just started a family, and we were more involved in obviously looking after the kids and working really hard. So we had no time really for catching up on all of the popular shows at that time. I mean, Lost and Battlestar and Enterprise. All of those passed me by, and I've only really recently caught up with them. So I was amazed to find that our local DVD store still had these DVDs, and we've watched them all. Yeah, it's actually probably one of the best TV series. It's right up my street. It's the same with my wife. It's got lots and lots of hidden things and callbacks and science fiction sort of element to it, and a bit of mystery here and there, and a lot of action. It's absolutely amazing.
Now, I remember when it first came out, I was excited about it. I was waiting the months until it premiered. I watched them all live as they premiered. It was a fantastic show. It had a lot of controversy. They didn't really know what they were doing after season 1. I don't know if you noticed that until they got back on track. And then the finale was one of the most controversial in quite some time.
Yes, no, I'd heard all of this. Obviously, I'd heard about the show, and I'd heard online that people were saying, "Oh, the ending! I didn't like the ending. I didn't like this season. This season was awful. This was all confusing." To be honest, I didn't think it was that bad. We watched like writers' strikes in the middle of it, and there was just like any show. They don't really know how good it's going to be until it starts to air. And then when they're halfway through, as they have this habit of doing in America, they're still halfway while the first one airs, and you don't really know how it's going to end, or an idea of a show that's going to last 1 season, and then suddenly the network will say, "This is fabulous. We want a second season." And you go, "Oh, right, okay. We're going to have to stretch this out." They did it with Heroes, if you remember season 1. Phenomenal, and then suddenly they had to stretch it over number 2, number 3. So this, I think, suffered a little bit from that. But I don't think it was really that bad. The story, as far as we obviously watched it, binge watched it, which it wasn't available to you at the time. I don't think it was that bad. It flowed really well. I think the stories, I don't think there was really a bad episode, or maybe I think 1 or 2 that we thought that was just a bit of a filler. So we'll move on to the next one. But the story kept going. They cleared up all of the mysteries of what was on the island. It was really the last season. Yes, I can see where people would say, "Oh, but what happened?" Now, just before we came on air, I was watching a YouTube video of, Lost Explained, it was called, and I ran through it, 10-minute video explaining what actually happened in the last season and what it was all about. And that's cleared up a few things, I think. It's helped me along the way. But unfortunately, at that time, when it first came out, you were left up to your own devices as to try and work out what had happened in the last episode. Yes. What was going on. I've had the luxury of watching it, thinking I understood all of that. That was great. And then last night my wife turned around to me and said, but what about this? What about that? Why didn't they join? Why didn't Ben joined the group? Why was Hurley there when he hadn't died? And all of this was going on. All explained in the video, fortunately. But for a small moment, I thought, oh, I've missed everything. I've totally misunderstood everything. I thought I knew what was going on. I do tend to take my brain out when I'm watching things. So if there are mistakes or called back to or whatever, I might miss things like that. But once I'd seen that video, it all made sense. So I'm quite happy that I'm happy that the way they explained what the island was there for, the energy that had come from the island, the man in black had to be killed, and how he was killed. It was a bit short and disappointing, but that happened. Some people got off the island, some people didn't. It was a little bit confusing, with all that. But once I'd had the explanation, I've got it. But I can really see why it was controversial at the time, especially if you just spent 6 years watching it and not 6 weeks as we've been doing it.
Right. Yeah. So you must have loved it because you powered right through it, all 6 seasons in 6 weeks. So yeah, because I haven't seen it since it went off the air. I did buy the Super Deluxe Blu-ray box set when it came out, and I've always meant to go back to it. I just never have, so it's just sitting in my DVD shelf, collecting dust, of course. If I ever do get around to it, I'll just power through it just like you did, I'm sure.
Exactly. Yeah. You'll go to look for it later, and it won't be there. It's lost.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens. So you'd definitely recommend it to people who haven't seen it.
If nobody's seen it and they like a little bit of mystery, a little bit of time travel, maybe a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit of mysticism, and love the end of Hawaii as a backdrop, oh yeah, definitely got to watch it.
Yes, and it's got Daniel Day Kim, who has been in Star Trek. He's been on Hawaii Five-0 for the longest time, and there was news today, actually, I saw, that after 31 years of being an actor, he's finally getting to be a series lead in something for National Geographic Channel. So there's him.
Yeah, that's great.
And Delenn from Babylon 5.
Of course, yes. Yeah, good to see Delenn.
Always, definitely, for sure. Now, I've recently started a brand new watch of a show that's actually been out for a while and is over. Have you ever seen or heard of Orphan Black?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Tell me more.
All right, well, I will. I believe it has 5 seasons, and I started watching it maybe 3 nights ago. I'm 4 episodes in. What it is the main actress, Tatiana Maslany. Actually, she's going to be She-Hulk in the She-Hulk TV series on Disney. But she plays a clone. And, I don't really know what's going on yet. I'm 4 episodes in, and she's met 7 or 8 different versions of herself. And she doesn't know what's going on, but the other ones seem to have a bit of a clue. What's it called? The conceit behind the show is that Tatiana plays different versions of the same person, I guess, but different personalities, different lives they've lived, and they've all met up now. The fun thing is that you actually believe that they're different people. She's such a good actress that when she plays the role from a different perspective, you forget that it's the same person. It's that good.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, that's a talent indeed.
It is. And I don't really quite know what's going on because I'm only 4 episodes in, but I've been told, and it's been recommended for years, that, this is a show you'd love, Sean. So finally I sat down and I watched the first 4 episodes, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I don't know what's going on yet, but she has to unravel the mysteries, and she's impersonating a dead cop who was one of the clones so far. It's really interesting.
Okay, so where are you watching this? Is this on catch-up TV type of thing, or on Netflix? Or
it's on Crave, which is it's a streaming service. It's kind of related to HBO Max because they've got a lot of the same things. That's how I finished off Game of Thrones there about a month ago. Yeah, it's got all kinds of different things on it.
Ah, okay. I'll have a quick look now and see whether we can get it over here.
I don't know. I know it's on the Bell Network here in Canada. I'm not sure if it's anywhere outside of Canada. Okay, so that's what we've been watching. You finished off Lost. I watched Orphan Black. We should probably get into some Marvel news since I just watched the first 2 episodes of WandaVision on Disney Plus this morning. Do you guys have Disney Plus over there in the UK?
We do, yes. We would have to subscribe to it. It's obviously extra money on top of your Netflix and Amazon and Sky and Virgin and whatever else you've got.
All the things, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have that. So you haven't seen WandaVision.
No.
Did you watch any of The Mandalorian?
No, I've not seen anything Disney related, unfortunately, which I was tempted to get it, but they've just announced they're going to increase the price of the subscription over here, so it's put me off a bit.
Well, I won't give you too many spoilers for WandaVision. It's the first Disney Plus series that takes place in the MCU since they took over from Netflix, who had Daredevil and Punisher and the Defenders and all them. It takes place in a 1950s sitcom. It's very I Love Lucy crossed with Bewitched, if you've ever seen any of those shows.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So they've only released the first 2 episodes so far. I guess they're doing it every Friday. They're stuck in some kind of simulation or whatnot, and they have their powers, but they're pretending to be 1950s husband and wife. I won't say too much about it. It's so far so good. It's got the highest score of anything in the MCU on Rotten Tomatoes, which I just read this morning. So people seem to be enjoying it. And what have you found in your research?
I have found in my research that it was on BBC Three. Orphan Black was on BBC Three, and I'm just going to check out Netflix because I believe it could be on there.
If you're loving this podcast, you should tell a friend about it.
Spread the word about podcasts you think they would enjoy. There's something for everyone, from entertainment and lifestyle
to news and politics
and more. Share it on social media. Believe it or not, some people don't know how great podcasts are,
or even how to find and listen to them.
You can help change that with a click. Tell your friends about your favorite podcast.
Thanks for spreading the word.
Orphan Black is indeed on Netflix.
Oh, well, there you go. And you have Netflix, so I would suggest giving it a watch.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I'm only 4 episodes in, so I can't say too much about it, but I enjoy it so far, and I watched 3 in a row and then 1 the next day, and I just have to get back to it.
5 seasons, 10 episodes in each.
Excuse me. That's relatively easy and simple to get through. Not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that'll be something to look forward to if you're looking for a new series. But like I said, speaking of Marvel news, WandaVision, if you do get Disney Plus, I would recommend that. I think you'd also like Mandalorian. But since we're in the Marvel universe, there was a rumor going around that Chris Evans was in talks to reprise the role of Captain America. It was all over the interwebs there the other day, but then Chris tweeted, "Oh, that's news to me." So apparently he's actually not in talks, but he might be, or it's a secret, or it's not happening at all, and people just made it up.
Well, I think he's probably contracted not to say anything. So
that would be my guess. Yeah, and maybe somebody leaked it, or maybe it's not happening at all. We don't know. We won't know until it actually happens or it doesn't happen.
I could do this all day.
But going along with that, Kevin Feige did confirm that Deadpool 3 is filming. It's probably going to film in 2022. Deadpool will be part of the MCU, and yes, it will be rated R. They're not going to mess with Deadpool. Did you enjoy those films?
Oh, yes, I've got them both on Blu-ray. Love them to bits, yeah. I'm big fan of it. So, yeah, the fact that I don't mind whether it's R-rated or not, I think it has to be in some respects because it's been set up that way, and if they change it now, it would not be as good. But I think if the character appears, if they can get the character to appear in other Marvel films and tone him down, and sort of say just don't go too heavy on the swearing or just drop a little, because he could quite easily turn to the camera and say, "Hey, I'm in a Spiderman movie, I can't swear."
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and they didn't.
This film is not R-rated. Sorry, guys, I can't use the word mother. Delete it. Yeah.
That's right. Yes, exactly.
So,
and they didn't rule out the possibility that the character will show up in other MCU films. But yes, he is going to be part of the MCU in Deadpool 3. So we're all very excited for that. Whenever that comes out, sometime in the future.
And the good thing is, obviously, he's in his 40s now, isn't he? So, I mean, if he gets a bit older, gets into his 50s, his hair will be going grey, his skin will go wrinkled, and, oh, hang on, his character's skin's wrinkled anyway, so he could actually film another 20 years, and nobody'd really know if he's any older or not.
Nope, exactly, because he's already under the makeup, so it's fine. Good point. But the last bit of Marvel news that I have is that apparently Charlie Cox finished filming his Daredevil role on the set of Spider-Man 3. He wrapped that up this week. Yes, he will be in Spider-Man 3 along with about 20,000 other people. Yeah,
this is big news for my son and I are big fans of Daredevil. And we love Charlie Cox. And I always said I wish they could get him into the films or make a film of Daredevil with him in it. And they should do more of this. They should bring in the Flash and have, I can't remember the young lad's name who does the Flash at the moment.
Grant Gustin?
Yes. They should use him as the Flash and nobody else. Because they have made the names, made the characters big enough on the TV series to put into films. And they shouldn't then change the character just because the character's now a big, a big star or whatever. They should, and the same with Superman. And he should appear, as what's his name? The English actor who's used Henry Cavill. Yeah. So they should do that more. They should not change the roles whilst they're both still at the in their prime at the moment. Mm-hmm. They should use them, and then when they change the actor later on, or if they're going to make an older one or a younger one, then that's acceptable. But like they will do with Spider-Man, I think they should use the TV actors that have made the things popular enough to get them into films.
Except you're mixing up your Marvels with your DCs.
Yes, I am a little bit, but it'd be good if they could. They've done crossovers before in the comics. Don't tell anybody, but I remember them.
This is Bane. You may have forgotten about me, but I have not forgotten about you. You're listening to my favorite podcast, The Rusted Robot. I highly recommend that you continue to do so.
So I mean, if you're gonna have actors who are good enough to play it in a TV series, which when you look at the amount of filming that goes on, there's more in the TV series than there is in it would be easy enough just to slip them into a film role quickly.
I think so. And in the article that I read about Charlie Cox, they didn't confirm whether it's the Netflix version of Daredevil or if he's going to play like a different version of the Daredevil character. But I would imagine that it would be the same one.
It'd have to be the same one. I mean, you couldn't anyway, could you? How would you change him? That makes no sense.
I don't know. Maybe they would change the costume to make it more cinematic, but hard to say really. But we'll just have to wait until Spider-Man 3 comes out.
See, this is where Star Trek has ruled the roost for so many years, is that whoever is on the TV at the time, they make the films with those people.
Yes.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, for sure. So actually, I'm glad you brought up Star Trek, because I've got some Star Trek news and information for us here. Yes. Now, you're aware that Amazon Prime is bringing Lower Decks to you guys, I think, at the end of this week?
It's the 22nd, yes. I've got it in my diary, and I can't wait.
And you have Amazon Prime?
My son has Amazon Prime, so we'll pinch his account.
Oh, you're all set then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think you'll like it. It's, I believe, 10 episodes. The first one's a little bit rough and frenetic and high-paced, but then it settles down, and it's pretty decent. Don't take it too seriously. It's just a lot of fun.
Oh, no, I'm not going to take it seriously at all. This looks like an amazing bit of work that is... it's like the books, it's like the animated series, it's like the films. It's not Star Trek. Star Trek's a TV series,
yes,
a real-life TV series with people and what have you. But this, I think, is a great way of expanding the universe, because I believe it's all canon, and expanding the ideas behind it. If it's showing the Star Trek ethics to younger people, and I'm not talking about kids in respect, but younger people than me anyway, and maybe my son's age, teenagers, then it might just drag them into the actual Star Trek episodes.
Yes,
they might like that, and there is plenty of room for a science fiction cartoon of that type. So yeah,
so it might be a gateway drug, is what you're saying.
It could well be
to the wider Star Trek universe.
That's right. Start off on the easy stuff, and get yourself into the harder stuff later.
Now, did you get a chance to watch Picard?
I don't want the game to end.
I did.
And how did you find that?
I liked it. Overall, I liked it. I am excited for a second season because of the characters they could have in there that they've already rumoured. I think it could have been done better. I think it was a little bit confusing. The pacing was all over the place and characters disappeared when you weren't watching.
Yeah, true.
But overall, I thought there was some good characters in there. I thought Patrick Stewart was fine. I'm happy that he got the role that he did, and an aging captain and all that. He sort of played it well because he is an aging actor. So they fitted him in. I did like the two. Were they Romulans that were with him?
Yes, for the first 3 episodes, his caretakers.
Yes, I thought they were interesting characters and should have expanded those roles a bit more.
Yeah, they just kind of disappeared after the 3rd episode, and they never showed them again.
That's right. They're still keeping his house going, I assume. There was a lot of nice little throwbacks to things. It was good to see that they got rid of Data, because otherwise this could have been the Picard and Data show all over again, which we got in a lot of the films. It was good to see Riker and Troy popping up. I'd love to see Colm Meaney come in at some point in the next episode if they could. Maybe Worf. I'd love to see some of these old characters coming in, because he's going to go out looking for friends and looking for people. So why not go looking for them and find them? I liked it overall, but there was a lot of problems with the pace. They'd rush off to go somewhere and then take a left turn and go somewhere else instead. Then get back on track, and then they'd go off to get a pizza with Riker. Come back on again, and then they'd rush off to do this, and then the fight at the end was a bit sort of, like say, one character just totally vanished off the face of the earth. Nobody was never referenced again.
No, that's right.
And I loved the fact that we got Jerry Ryan popping up as a kick-ass character, which was great to see. So, but yeah, I think I will definitely watch a second episode. It was definitely Star Trek. Because they had all the right things in it, all the right noises and beeps, and the atmosphere. It felt Star Trek. It was in the right universe. It had a Badmiral, which you always need in Star Trek. And
you definitely need a Badmiral. That's for sure. Yes, and you'll be happy to know filming on season 2 begins in February.
Ooh, great!
And Patrick Stewart teased in a recent interview or whatever that there's going to be a lot of big changes or a big surprise coming along. He didn't say what it was going to be, but just that there would be one. So there's that. He also received the Best Actor Award at the Critics' Choice Super Awards this past weekend.
Yeah, how big is that award?
It's the first time they've ever done this award show, so nobody's ever heard of it. Star Trek had I think it was 7 awards. Only he won for Best Actor in Picard. Sonequa Martin Green was Best Actress in Discovery, but she didn't get that award. But Star Trek did receive the first annual Legacy Award for Star Trek as a whole, and Patrick Stewart and Sonequa both accepted the award on Star Trek's behalf.
That's good, yeah. I mean, Star Trek is obviously the biggest science fiction show that has ever been and is still going on. It's been around 50-odd years, so to still have it going, and at this moment in time, it is at its biggest ever. You won't believe how many books there are. There's, like I say, how many TV shows they have of it now. There's talk about more, and I've lost my poster. This is this poster here. Oh, I can't see it myself. So if you can see that poster there, all of the books, all of the Star Trek books.
Yep.
And in the right order that they should be read in. It's 2 A3 pieces of paper stuck together. There must be over 300 books there, at least.
Oh, at least, for sure. It's not more.
Star Trek is huge. It's massive, and rightly so. It should get an award, for a Legacy Award, certainly.
And 2021 marks the 55th anniversary of the franchise, and it also would have been Gene Roddenberry's 100th birthday this year.
Well, there you go.
So 2021 is the year of Star Trek. Why not? I just declared it so.
Yes, make it so.
Make it so. Hey, speaking of Star Trek, did you watch Discovery?
Black alert. Black alert.
Any of the seasons?
I saw the first one. I didn't get on with it because it's a good science fiction series, but it's not Star Trek. And this is where I have to come in and be Josh for a little bit.
It wouldn't be an episode of Rusted Robot if there wasn't a little bit of disagreement.
Exactly. I mean, it's what am I doing? I'm reading subtitles for Klingon. They sound angry all the time. I can't get the cadence of the speech. I don't know if they're happy, making love, whether they're shouting at each other. I've got to read the subtitles, and I can't read subtitles quickly. It takes time. I have to keep pausing it to read the subtitles.
And then you're missing the action on the screen.
Exactly. I don't know what's going on. I'm reading. If I want to read a book, I'll read a book. So there's no sound. The ships don't look anything like the proper ships. It doesn't fit. The Klingons don't feel like Klingons. There's races. I don't mind new races coming in, but there was no real likable characters. Jeremy Isaacs did a great job of being the bad guy, and it was a good little twist at the end where obviously there's the mirror universe coming into it and all this. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with the plot and the story. The effects were amazing, but it just did not feel like Star Trek to me.
No, I could understand your point of view. It definitely wasn't perfect. I didn't like the change in the Klingon design or the ship design. None of that stuff made sense. However, I'm such a big fan of Star Trek, I just let it go, and it's fine, whatever. So I bury it. So you didn't watch any of season 2?
I have not seen any of season 2, no.
Okay, it was a bit of a tonal shift. It was a lot of Pike, which is why we're getting Strange New Worlds, the Pike series that we should have gotten 55 years ago. And then season 3 just wrapped up, which I believe Dan and I are going to talk about on next week's show when he's the guest host. Spoiler alert for next week's episode. Haha. But, yeah, so season 3 was a lot different. Very controversial on the comment boards, on all the things that I watch and read. People either love it or hate it, and there's no agreement by anybody on anything, apparently.
No, it's very divisive. I'm certainly looking forward to the Pike show. Was it called Brave New Worlds?
Strange New Worlds.
Strange New Worlds, that's one. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that because that sounds as though it's going more towards the original series style of TV, episodic,
yes, exactly.
Uplifting rather than as it used to be. This is something I would like to aspire to. That's what Star Trek always meant to me. The original series, I'd love to have lived in those times and been on that ship and worked on that ship. Mm-hmm. The Next Generation was more of the same, but even better. And again, it was all utopian society and all this type of thing. I think, yes, that's what humanity should be. This is what we should be fighting for. Deep Space Nine took that a little bit to one side, but I thought that was still good. So I like the idea of this. Something I want to be in, or something I want to aspire to, and I think this is what the new show will be. So yeah, it sounds more like my style of Star Trek.
Yes, it looks like it's going to be amazing, and of course the effects on all these new shows are very cinematic. The writing is spectacular. It doesn't always make sense at first until you scratch your head a little bit and think about it. It's very different. It's not our Next Generation era, that's for sure.
Yeah,
it's very different. But just to wrap up the Star Trek news, do you like toys?
I do like toys.
Well, in that case, there's a new company called EXO-6, that's EXO-6, and they've recently acquired the license to make 1/6 scale Star Trek statues and figures.
Now, Sean, steady now. Steady. Now, take a breath. Take a breath.
I know. It's very exciting. So I looked it up. And I followed all the links and whatnot. And the first figure they're coming out with is first contact version of Data in 1/6 scale action figure form. The price, though, is a little bit outrageous. What would you expect to pay for a 6-inch figure?
Oh, well, I'd have to say in UK pounds. So I don't know the conversion rate at the moment. But it depends on how good it is. I suppose you could get it for sort of anywhere between £25 to £50.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. It's not like 1990s era Playmates when you could get something for $7.99. However, pre-order for Data is $189 American for a 1/6 scale figure. So I was like, well, sure, it looks very detailed and very nice, and I think it comes with an alternate head for when he's got the skin on his face. But $200 for a 6-inch figure, I just no, I can't justify that in any world.
I know this is where it's really frustrating with shows that are, even like Lost, and you can get figurines of Lost and all the characters in Lost and all that. And they really are nice pieces of work, but they're so expensive. It's out of range of the sort of people who would love to have things like that. We used to have Star Wars figures when we were kids. When Star Wars first came out, all those small figures about 4 inches tall, and they were priced at such a price where everybody could afford them, and everybody had them. You make money that way. You sell more of them. You get more interested in you get more fans who can afford to buy. Kids were buying it with their pocket money. Kids can't buy this with their pocket money. That's ridiculous. £120 UK.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And speaking of things that are ridiculous, I think I mentioned before how I was collecting all the Eagle Moss starships, as you can see behind me on my thing there, and they stopped shipping to Canada, so I ordered 6 final ones, and they were supposed to arrive this past Thursday, and they haven't yet. So I was going to have a collectible of the week, but no, they're not in the mail yet.
You just don't learn, do you? You just don't learn.
I'm a sucker for punishment.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah, but anyway, they should be here hopefully next week, and I can put them on my shelf, and it won't be a complete collection, but at least I'll have a goodly amount.
Well, that's right. I mean, you don't. I mean, surely they would have put all the interesting ones out first. You would think. They
did. All the really good ones I have already, and then there was a few other ones that are that'd be kind of neat to have. Like I ordered the Enterprise from the Cage from the pilot.
Oh wow!
I ordered Enterprise J, that was seen in Enterprise, the future version in the Big War.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Daniels. Where am I?
You're on Enterprise. Enterprise J, to be exact, a distant relative of your ship. We're 400 years in the future.
I ordered, I think it was the ISS. Which one? I don't have it in front of me, but I think it's the NX-01, the ISS, the Mirror Universe version from that 2-parter of Enterprise. Mm-hmm. And I think I ordered Captain Proton's ship from Voyager's holodeck, and Friendship 1, the probe from Voyager.
Yeah. Wow. There's some good ones there.
Yeah, there might be one more in there, because there was 6 altogether. I can't remember what the 6th one was, but they should arrive next week, and I can talk about them on the show then, hopefully, if they do come in the mail. You never know. Can't trust those post office people, right? So.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they'll deliver some propaganda, some racist propaganda, but they won't deliver you Star Trek ships. That's ridiculous.
Right. Yes, that's a whole other episode. I think I'm going to do a Soul Forge episode on the propaganda racism stuff that I was forced to deliver, but that's later. So that's all my Star Trek news. Do you have any Star Trek information?
No, the only thing I was going to mention was Lower Decks coming to the UK, which is great. I'm looking forward to seeing that, but other than that, no, I've not heard anything. I get all my news from you, Sean. Where am I going to get it from?
That's true. I am the number one pop culture news source in all of North America and the world.
Certainly the UK. I mean, that's where we get our news from. Yeah.
Of course, from Rusted Robot. Why not? So I have 2 last things to talk about. Real briefly, Amazon Prime's Lord of the Rings series is busy filming. They're filming seasons 1 and 2. It's been guaranteed for 5 seasons. And they just announced that this series is going to take place in the Second Age, which is about 3,000 years before the events of the films from Peter Jackson.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing, the way that franchise has just taken off the way it has. I mean, from one single book, well, 2 books, a lot of ideas have come from it. But it's amazing that it's still going.
Yeah, and they're filming it in New Zealand as well. And I think it's going to follow the rise of Sauron to power. That's the basic idea. And you have Amazon Prime, so you'll be able to see it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we'll see that.
So that's awesome. That's something we can discuss later whenever it comes out. Who knows when that'll be? Maybe next year sometime.
Yeah. We'll definitely talk about that.
And the final thing on my list is a trailer for a Nicolas Cage film. I'm going to play the trailer right here.
Welcome to Willy's Wonderland. Spend the night cleaning Willy's Wonderland, and I will pay to have your car fixed. Deal? You are officially on staff. Let's get the hell out of here. I can't stand to hear a grown man scream.
This place has a dark history. I know the bullshit story they told you. It's a lie. You're here to be a human sacrifice. Have you been listening to a word I've been saying? He's gonna die in here, but he won't listen to me.
It's your birthday, and we want you to have fun.
The machines got out.
It's your birthday.
Nobody is safe.
Put your balls on, Evan. We're going to Willy's.
He's not trapped in here with them. They're trapped in here with him.
It's your birthday, and we want you to have fun. It's your birthday, so let's party out. It's birthday time.
I enjoy a man of few words.
That is called Willy's Wonderland. Now, you've seen the trailer?
I have seen the trailer. I was a little bit disturbed when you emailed me and said, or messaged me and said, watch this trailer of Willy's Wonderland. I thought, what am I getting myself into here?
With a name like that, you never know.
Well, I sort of half wondered whether it was something to do with Willy Wonka, and I thought, well, maybe it's that. But I wasn't quite prepared for for Nicolas Cage doing what he's doing in this film.
Well, Nicolas Cage is always doing something weird in any kind of film that he's in. But in this film here, he plays a guy who is tasked with cleaning a theme park so that the owner of the theme park will pay for the repairs on his car. And apparently he's a human sacrifice, and all the animatronics come to life, so he has to defeat them to survive, is what I take from it.
Do you know what if I can remember the name of the film? When we interviewed the director and producer from the horror movies.
Oh, yes.
Lost Eye Productions.
That's right.
That trailer was very similar to the put out for a horror movie that they'd done.
Yes,
but it was very dark.
What was that called? Do you remember what that called?
Oh, I can't remember.
We watched it. It was The Risen. That's what it was. The Risen.
The Risen, yes. Yes, it was a very similar feel to that. One man in a room battering the hell out of things.
Yes.
And the first thing I thought of was, this is a lockdown film.
Yeah. So, let's see. It says here, according to the article, it's about a man who needs some cash fast after his car breaks down, so he agrees to clean a Chuck E. Cheese-style restaurant overnight. The twist: the animatronics are killers. The other twist: the man is played by Nicolas Cage. And I don't think it has a release date. Let me see if I can find it.
But it just looked
February 12th. It hits theaters, digital, and on demand on February 12th.
Oh, there you go. It'll be a love film. It's ready for Valentine's Day.
Yes, it's a perfect Valentine's date, because if there's one thing that everybody's date likes, it's a Nicolas Cage film. And the article goes...
If they don't, you've got the wrong person.
That's exactly true. It says, so... Willy's Wonderland has a fun, wacky, yet stripped-down premise, and it looks like all the energy will be propelled by Cage's particular brand of cageness, which is definitely promising. Also, while we've seen the actor dive into nutty battles many, many times before, he's never fought an entire fleet of demonic animatronics. So, I don't know. That definitely looks like something that I would watch. February 12th, I probably won't watch it that date. I'll wait till it comes to Netflix, but...
Well, on the ESO network, one of our sister podcasts, where the Double-Edged Double Bill, the guys there were talking about Nicolas Cage films. They take one really, really good film and one really, really bad film, and they took one of each from Nicolas Cage's films. And they were discussing about how he basically picks up any film and does anything, and it sort of he just becomes Nicolas Cage in the films.
Yes, he's very fun to watch. You never know what he's going to do next. Usually it's a little bit of always the sameness, but there's always some crazy wackiness to behold.
Yeah, in this trailer he's sort of full beard, which I haven't seen him with a full beard for a while. So I think he's been in lockdown for a while, and they've decided to make this film. They've just locked him in a room with a lot of mechanical moving parts and said, right, beat the hell out of them.
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. Yeah, there's a few other people in the trailer, but probably COVID protocols were in effect, and so it's probably just easy enough to film him fighting robots.
Yes. What more could you want from a film?
Not too much. Maybe aliens, but that's about it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all that I have on my list for this week in pop culture. Do you have anything interesting that our UK listeners might be interested in that I wouldn't have access to information-wise over here? There's no sounds coming.
Sorry, no, I do not have anything, unfortunately, because I've run out of time to actually look for anything. It's not really sci-fi, but you've heard of Bridgerton, I would assume.
Bridgerton?
This is the latest thing to hit Netflix, and it's a period drama set in the Renaissance period, so sort of 1700s or so, late 1700s, but has a really strange feel to it because there's a lot of sex. It's very steamy. It's very hot.
Oh boy.
And that's probably why my wife's watching it. But at the same time, they have some music in the background, let's say. Instrumental music in the background, and it's Ariana Grande.
Oh my.
And various people of that sort of Billie Eilish and these sort of people. It's their songs, but done in instrumental form in the background.
Wow.
You see them wearing high heels and smoking cigarettes that are not period, not specific to that period. It's very, very strange, and it's just taken off around the world. Everybody's watching it. It's become a global phenomenon. They reckon something like 68 million households have watched it around the world.
Really? Okay, because I saw it that it was added to the Netflix queue. I haven't looked at it or watched it, but I didn't even know that much about it. And also the Queen's Gambit apparently is awesome too, but I haven't watched that one yet either.
I believe so. It's all about chess, isn't it? It's well, not all about chess, but it's about a female character who is a chess champion. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like some really good acting in it. It's got a couple of English actors. One of the Harry Potter stars is in there. The character of what's his name? It's Harry Potter's nemesis when he's still at home. Dursley. I've forgotten his first name. Anyway. The one that keeps making fun of him under the stairs.
Okay.
The younger, it's got him as one of the characters, and a Argentinian actress who speaks very good English because she was brought up over here. Thank you, phone. And yeah, it looks pretty good. The acting in it looks pretty good. I just saw a trailer for it today. We were just watching the Graham Norton Show, which is a chat show over here, and he interviewed the actress and played the trailer, and it looks quite interesting.
Maybe I'll have to add those to my never-ending list of things that I would like to watch but never get around to, probably, because that list is quite extensive. So
yes, that list is getting bigger and bigger as well.
Yeah, it's hard to get to everything, but maybe one day.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess that's it for this week's episode of Rusted Robot Podcast. Appreciate you coming on board and helping me out this time, Paul.
That's no problem. No problem at all. Good to be here.
I guess we'll talk again on Wednesday for our upcoming recording of Cosmic Pizza with you and me and Dan.
That's correct, yes. I believe it's a Desert Island Disc episode, so that'll be coming out in the future, somewhere in February, I believe.
February or March, probably, because we're always a little bit ahead over there.
Yes, we are. But the next episode of the Cosmic Pizza to drop is our interview with the owner of Snips, which I mentioned earlier in the show, the DVD rental store that is just around the corner from us. Fascinating insight into what it's like to own one of only 2 remaining DVD rental stores in the UK.
Yes, that was quite an exciting and informative interview chat that we had with him. I'm looking forward to having that come out on this coming Wednesday. All of our listeners should be following Cosmic Pizza, Soul Forge, Rusted Robot, and all the other podcasts here on the ESO Network. Also, Dan's Temporal Trek podcast as well. So, listeners, thanks for coming by. Thanks to Paul for guest hosting. Take care. And remember, don't wait for magic. Create it. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Rusted Robot Podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit therustedrobot.podbean.com for all of our social media links, and don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The Rusted Robot Podcast is your best source for geek-style pop culture news.
I could do this all day.
Hello there. Welcome to episode 321 of the Soul Forge podcast for Sunday, January the 17th, 2021, Betty White's 99th birthday super special edition. Hello and welcome to the show. It's Rusted Robot 321, and it's your ever-present host, Sean, and I have got a special treat for you today. Yes. What? What's up?
You said, welcome to Soul Forge to start with.
Did I?
And then, yeah.
Okay. Good catch.
I thought, blimey, 300 episodes of Soul Forge, he's doing really well.
Did I start that at the very beginning or in the second part?
The very beginning.
Oh, okay. All right.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.